All right, are we live? There we are. We're live. We're live. We're live. All right, we're streaming live. Everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Gough podcast and audio experience. We are live all over the world with a very special guest today. We're talking to Jonathan Davies of the amazing PT Everywhere. We're going to have a very frank and open and honest discussion about the state of the PT profession right now. These guys are involved with 2,000 plus businesses around the US. Right now. So we're going to open up the hood, if you like. We're going to lift the lid on what is happening inside of the most successful PT businesses right now across the United States. Just before we get into the show, we do have a massive event coming up. If you want to join the party in person, PPM Live is the place to do it. PT Everywhere, one of our primary sponsors, primary partners. We love them, and we're happy that they're going to be with us at PPM in October 24, 5, and 6. Make sure you check out the details. Register at ppmlive25.com. We will be packed. Jonathan, if you remember last year, stick another 75 people in that room, and that's exactly what PPM is going to be like this year. So we're already a little nervous at the prospect that the fire marshal, who is a right pain in the ass, might have a few things to say about how many people will be in the room, but that's a good problem to have at this point. So PPM Live is headed to Orlando, October 24, 5, and 6th, and I'm sure we're going to get to talking about as well. Save the date for another little conference. Let's call it the little conference that might be going on in Orlando in November, where we're going to put on something very special as well. So you can come and say hello to us. I'm sure we'll get to that at some point in this conversation. Jonathan, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Paul. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to a couple of events in Orlando coming up the next 2 months.
Paradise. You're all welcome. See, the world is turned as of October the 1st. All of a sudden, the East Coasters and the West Coasters all start coming down because they want a little bit warmer weather. It's why we do our events in Orlando in October, November. It's beautiful, and it's good to have people coming down. That's for sure. It's the PT industry is descending on Florida in the next few weeks, which is great. So yeah, give us a little introduction. Obviously, there's lots and lots of people listening to this podcast, and we'll be listening back in many, many years to come. Just make sure everybody knows who you are and the importance of your role and what you guys at PT Everywhere are doing for the profession right now.
Absolutely, yeah. Happy to be here. I'm Jonathan Davis. I'm the VP of Customer Experience at PT Everywhere, and we were founded back in 2015. Still the first and only system designed by and for cash-based physical therapy practice owners. And really, we've built a cross-platform solution, app-based, web-based, where you can do your scheduling, documentation, billing, all of your patient communication on a computer or on an app on your phone or tablet.
How many businesses right now are you working with?
Yeah, we're near around 2,000, and they're all all shapes and sizes. We got customers in all 50 states and a few outside of the U.S. as well. But yeah, we're working with a good group of folks.
So it's safe to say that you've got your finger on the pulse. I suspect that you can look inside of your applications, and you can see how much money people are making and how many clients they've got. And it's one of the things that I love about the software that we've got is you can with PhysioPhones we can get a pulse of what's happening operationally. And one of the things that we look at every week is as simple as this: I can tell a successful business if they answer the call live. We go in at the end of every week and we can just get a pulse for like, how's the community doing? Are they actually answering the phone live? You know, they're running ads for Facebook and Google and all of these things, and they want their marketing to work. So we look at the end of the week and go, right, who's struggling right now? And we can tell if they're not answering the phone. So you can kind of get a pulse from having the data, I'm sure you guys have got something similar. So let's have a discussion about that. You know, we're almost at the end of 2025. We're thinking about 2026 now. We're moving forward in that direction. What have you seen across since January? Where's the shifts in the PT industry? Where's it headed? What are you guys learning from your clients? Let's get into that to start with.
Yeah, I mean, people are always looking to find what are the right revenue streams. What are new innovative ways to serve clients as not just patients that are hurt and need something right away, but also looking into different models for concierge, or for looking at continuity programs, wellness programs, so you can really create lifelong relationships with clients. so that you can transition them from wellness to PT or from PT to wellness, either way, performance. And we've seen a lot of success with that. And hybrid can mean a couple different things, whether you're offering, wellness services alongside PT, or, you're primarily cash-based or largely cash-based, but also seeing a few Medicare patients, or there's a couple of private insurers that pay well in the area and it makes sense to work with. But then again, a lot of our core audience is, purely cash-based practices that are, spending one-on-one time with patients for an hour and getting great outcomes.
I think it's an interesting point you've raised there about the hybrid model. When I first entered this community and moved into the coaching space, let's say 2015, 2016, the hybrid model was cash and some insurance. That's what people often referred to as the hybrid model. But I think now in 2025, we're watching the evolution of the hybrid model to be about cash and wellness.
Exactly. Yeah.
What are you seeing then? What are people offering? What's the type of services that you are seeing people alongside good quality cash PT? What are they offering?
Yeah, sometimes it's just as simple as access, right? Being able to ask questions, having an app where you can message your provider and receive home exercise programs and helpful tools to help you, achieve your personal goals, whether that's with your sports specific goals with CrossFitters or runners or golfers, or pelvic floor, other specializations. We're seeing a lot of that where it makes a lot of sense to do your rehab and your prehab and make sure that you're set up for success in that realm.
What are you seeing? Let's go into cash PT then. What are you seeing the typical model? If we looked at, let's say cash PT doing $1 million, right? What are you seeing that the infrastructure might look like there? What sort of staff? Like how many people? Let's say if I had $1 million business and I'm with PtEverywhere, how many logins might I have? Right? Like how many people are actually using it? I'm listening to this and I'm making a 20 grand a month, but I want to get to 80.
Sure.
What might be coming down the line for me as a cash PT in terms of the infrastructure for my business, and how many people might be in my payroll on my books? What's the sort of optimum model that you're seeing now for a cash PT?
Yeah, great question. And we see this a lot of times where you're getting an admin or a receptionist that is doing less of the operations, right? Less, you have your systems in place that help with the scheduling, the reminders, the forms, and then you have your admin team that are helping more on the marketing side and helping more on the patient experience. And then the faster that you can hire a staff therapist, 2 or 3 therapists, where you're setting different goals for them having a patient come in, and instead of seeing them on for one visit, we're setting out a plan of care. Like we're offering a package for based on our conversation. Let's have 10 visits. Let's have 12 visits, and creating a plan for a specific goal, and that again, that could be PT with an injury or something that needs to be addressed, or it could be just general wellness, mobility, and strength.
What do you see? And this is an interesting one. I wonder what you get to hear about prices when it comes to cash PT. It's always a thing when somebody comes into our world. The first thing that we have to do is try and help them understand the concept of profitability. What's your thoughts on that, and what are you seeing cash PTs do? Have you got any stories of any of your clients who are like just out there at $400, $500 a session, or like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 packages? And equally, do you ever see anybody who, when they first sign up with you, they're sort of $75, $80, like
That's
just
right.
trying to keep their head down? Just speak to me to that, because there's always a big kind of hot like needle that you poke with somebody when it comes
That's
to their
right.
prices. Yeah.
It's a mindset thing, right? And I think once you realize the value that you're delivering, it could be as simple as, I want to be able to get on the floor and play with my kids or play with my grandkids.
Yeah.
Or it could be something like, hey, it's important for me to be on the golf course every weekend with my friends, or to be at the CrossFit gym with my friends. So, understanding your value, we've seen everything. Yeah, we've seen the $75, $85, but then again, we've also we're seeing more of this $450, $500 an hour per visit model that works, right? And a lot of that has to do with finding the right niche, finding the people that you want to work with, that are kind of like-minded, where you have shared interests, but also shared passion. So you really can help them achieve their goals, and finding that niche can make a huge difference.
Yeah, I think that's the key, and the mistake, the rookie mistake, if you like, when people come into our world, is often the reputation. They focus so much on building a good reputation, and they think that that's the gateway. They inevitably get 20, 25 visits a week on the books, but they can't get past that, and they realize that most of the time they're just paying bills because they didn't focus on the niche. They didn't pick that audience, that pocket of people. What are you seeing from that point of view then? Where are some of your clients going? You mentioned golf. Is there any other niches that you see people get into?
Yeah, I think when you start to look at some of the sports that you can play, lifetime.
Pickleball.
I was about to say pickleball. Yeah. Pickleball is definitely seeing a lot more of that. Alongside golf, alongside running in CrossFit gyms, you see a lot of that. And then we have some rotational, baseball players and youth athletes as well, where, hey, this is important to me.
Yeah,
I'm willing to invest in it, and you can help me get where I need to get. So it's not so much the price tag; it's the impact that it has on my quality of life.
What do you think about why you've got 2,000 clients, right? There's going to be the sort of every group has a top 10, 20%. What do you think your top performers, your most successful clients, the ones who are always coming back to you saying, I need more logins, I'm growing the team, we're adding more staff, the business is getting bigger, like they're probably spending more money with you because the business is growing, and that's in a good way, like they keep coming back to you looking for more things. What do those guys have in common?
One thing they have in common, I'd say, is there is a good understanding of their KPIs, right? Yeah. And we see this so often in the PT space, is that PTs are people. They're not always spreadsheet people, and certainly some are, but understanding what's working and what needs your attention and what needs to be addressed can make the difference in everything. So having the right systems in place where you're able to measure your KPIs. And, for some people, it makes sense to see Medicare patients. Yeah. A lot of people, it doesn't. A lot of it kind of depends upon your skills, your niche, who you want to work with. So finding that right patient population, finding the right people to surround yourself with, those are the tools that are going to put your practice on the right trajectory.
What about I always love I always think there's two parts to it, right? And you guys will know this, right? When somebody comes to your booth, when somebody comes to your stall and you start talking to somebody, we've got the practical business skills, right? Which obviously everybody needs and can learn. Right. What about the person, right? I'm always interested in the business owner, right? Like their mindset, their character, their right down to their eye contact, right? Somebody comes to my booth at an event, like if you can look me in the eye, I know you're probably doing all right, in your business, right? You've got a little bit about you can talk, you can ask some good questions. What do you see in the mindset, like the almost like the personality profile of the people who are the most successful? What are you seeing the difference?
Yeah, that's a great call out there, because I think there's two types of people in business that are successful in business, and you have the worker and you have the leader, right? Yeah. And the worker so often is like, I'm helping people, I'm seeing the impact of that. But it's in some ways, I've got blinders on to see what I could actually do. Yeah. I can lead a team. I don't have to be tied to the amount of, trading my time for money, because I can actually have the right systems in place and help more people.
I love it. What's next for you guys then? What's happening in the works with you guys? How are you helping clinics? How are you helping businesses? There's a lot going on in technology and systems automation. And I loved what you said earlier. I'll just touch on that actually. One of the things that I find with $1 million practice these days, if you're running a $1 million cash practice, you can probably have you can have a very profitable business. 3 therapists, 1 admin, and a marketer, because of the amount of work that can be done by the system now. The reminders, the calls, the email show-ups, the booking online appointments, and all of these types of things. The traditional insurance business, I mean, that's $1 million. You'd have a lot of staff. You'd have a lot of staff in that because there's such a high volume. But a good cash pay practice now, $1 million, taking home $250,000. You don't need a big org chart, and that's because a lot to do with the people who are leaning into technology. So tell us a little bit about what you guys, the technological advancements that you guys are helping people with, and the difference that it's making.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to 2015 when PtEverywhere was founded. We said, hey, there's not a lot of telehealth. People think it's cool, but we have this native to our platform. And then 2020 comes along, and people are like, well, I really need to really figure out my subjective skills to figure out what's going on and help people remotely. We're seeing less of that now, but what we are seeing, and everyone's going to see it with all systems, is AI, right? Yeah. And tools where you can anything that I can not work as hard but get better results. That's what sign me up for that, right? And that's what we have. We already have that in place with our native AI tool, where basically you can record the conversation you're having with the patient.
Yes.
And the system is going to take that transcription, summarize it into a SOAP note. Maybe you make a few changes. Maybe it's ready to go. And the machine learning is going to improve over time, where there's less and less edits needed. And there's other things coming down the pipeline as well with AI, where we'll start to suggest home exercises to be sent to the patient based on your note, and the like. So those being on top of the game with technology and what's available out there to improve your efficiency and make a big impact on the patient experience. Those are the things that impact your bottom line.
Let's stay on that then, the AI, because I mean, obviously I'm heavily into it as well, right? So we'll have a good discussion on it. What are you getting the finger on the pulse from the clients? Are they ready for AI? Are they skeptical? Are they frightened? Are they like, oh, let's see how it goes? Like, what are you seeing out there in the minute where people are?
It is rapidly taking over, right? I mean, there was a time where we saw some fear, some trepidation, like, is this going to replace me, right? And it might, if you're not aware of the impact that you really can have, and you're selling that impact, because it's ready or not, here it comes. I mean, that's the fact of the matter here. And so that finding ways to utilize it best, where you can work smarter, is definitely needs to be top of mind.
I think the reality of it, the way I explain it, when I've sold anything that is including AI, will it replace people? The reality is it will replace some of the tasks that they're doing, right? And I think we all have to be facing up to that there isn't any shadow of a doubt that many tasks are going to be replaced as a result of artificial intelligence. Now, that'll give, I think, human beings a choice, in that they can either say, I lost my job because of AI, or did I lose my job because I refused to upskill, or I refused to take on more responsibility, or I refused to get even better at something that AI will never be able to do. The customer love, the customer affection, the hugs, the conversations, make a cup of coffee, like just a smile, like all of the things that are going nowhere, nowhere. You hear all these like doom mongers, but whatever, right? Bill Gates and all this crap that they come out with, whatever. Great Instagram posts. But the reality is, in our lifetime, I don't think you're going to see a day where a client doesn't appreciate a welcome to the clinic from a human being who watched the NFL game that they are interested in on Sunday, whether it was the Cowboys or whether it was, I don't know, baseball last night, the Red Sox or Yankees, whatever was playing. I can't see how there'll ever be a day that our businesses aren't, that isn't the backbone of what we do. Like, as much as it's around great healthcare, people still value more than ever. And I actually think it's coming back. And having been in this business for the last 10 years, we watched it up until COVID, where seminars where I could send 3 emails and I'd fill up 100 people in a seminar. Mm-hmm. After COVID, 303 emails, right, to get probably half the number of people to come to the seminar. Same promise, same thing, same money-making testimonials. Everything was the same. Slowly but surely, over the last 6, 12, 18 months, it's like, oh, people are buying these tickets a hell of a lot easier than before, right? Like, or certainly since COVID. Is it because now people are stuck at home? There is too much technology. There is I'm lonely. There is I want to get out now and I want to experience something. Is there a scenario here where people are fearing that actually I don't want to talk to robots 24/7? Yes, where it's needed and it's more beneficial on the phone and various things, but the community aspect is what we're seeing. People are wanting to come back to seminars. They want to come to events. We've just spent a fortune on a studio here for people to come to, and every time we offer them to come, they come. 2 years ago, oh, that was a challenge. So I think with what you guys do, and that's why I love really debating technology. Is it going to mean that I could run $1 million practice using your technology with one less member of staff and save $50,000? Absolutely, is the answer. But what it really means is that I could go and hire somebody. Instead of saving the money, I put more money into customer service and the things that every other business owner is going to strip out trying to save money, and I double down and get leverage, and I get more referrals, and I get more longevity with my clients, and I get more customer appreciation as a result of technology, because I add more room now and more space and more time for the guy or the gal on the front desk to find out more about me, which in my humble opinion, since I started my business in 2007, the physio rooms, that was what we did well. And we used technology. Like yours wasn't around when I first started the business, but whatever I was using back in the day, and even things like Infusionsoft, when I started getting into that, it wasn't about getting rid of the marketer. It wasn't around replacing the front desk gal. It was about making their tasks irrelevant so that we could spend 20 minutes with a patient before the session arrived, before their session, and then after it, they'd want to stay with us and have another cup of coffee, right? The whole business was built around on almost the physio was a damned inconvenience to us having a good time with you before and after. But meanwhile, all of these emails and automation and text messages and various things were going on in the background. And Jonathan, I'm going back to 2012. I was doing this 2012 as a physio clinic owner, implementing an automated marketing system in 2012, right? That's how far back mine goes. And that's my fear, right? There's still some people playing catch up right now to automation. And it's like, oh, I need a marketing system. It's like, holy shit, dude. Like, what do you mean you need one? Like, you needed one fucking 10 years ago, right? And then like AI comes along and it's like, well, I'll think about it. It's like, no, there's no thinking about it, right? Like I'm listening to it. I'm learning from it. I'm like, there's nothing to learn. Just fucking do it. Like, implement the thing, right? And that's what I watch now. You're going to see a lot of physios. They're going to be, oh, well, I'm learning about AI, or I'm understanding AI. It's like, there's nothing to understand except get with somebody like PtEverywhere and plug the fucking thing into your business as fast as possible. Let your competitors spend the next 5 years learning it. You start benefiting from it and find the efficiencies inside of your business that are either going to go to better customer service or increase profit, whatever you want to do.
You hit the nail on the head. I mean, you really did. I think, when you look at practice management systems, like EMR systems, right? It's easy to say, hey, it's a commodity. They're all the same. But what the impact of PtEverywhere is efficiency, because it's designed specifically for PT practices by cash-based PT practice owners,
yep.
And the patient experience, because we're talking about the patient experience. When patients are connected, when patients are engaged, you see less drop-off.
Yep.
You see more visits, more revenue, but you're also seeing better outcomes. And what happens from that? More referrals, right? And that is what drives your bottom line, is if you can focus on having the right systems so your team's happy, your team's delivering a great patient experience, your patient's having a great patient experience. They've got a portal, they've got an app, they've got everything at their fingertips. It drives your bottom line.
I think, though, to your credit, right, and this is what I'll say to you from listening to the clients who are in our community that are using the majority of the cash clinics ahead of your way, is your experience. That's the thing that I've heard for years running this business, that when they use a other app or other practice management software, EMR, whatever, it's usually the thing that the business owner complains about. They join you for all of the fancy features, but they leave you because of the customer service, right? Like, that's typically what goes on. But I don't hear that from you guys. Like, the majority of the things that I hear in our world is that's what they like about you, and that's what makes you different. And I always find it interesting. The businesses think that they're selling one thing, but the customer's buying something else. And everything that I hear about you, it's that what they're actually, yes, they're buying the features at the start, but the relationship is being maintained because of your emphasis on customer service and any issues that the client might have that you're fixing faster than anybody else. Is that intentional from you guys? Have you set out from that way at the start?
Oh, it's an intention. It's intentional, and it's naturally a challenge for us, because are there more simple systems out there, right? So I can go get a standalone EMR and go get a standalone scheduling system, payment system, HEP,
Yep.
intake forms. We bring everything into one solution. So with our system, you're getting about 8 or 9 different software programs all in one.
Yeah.
And each have different automation options. Each have different customization options. So we want to make sure that our clients are maximizing all the features, that they're efficient with it. They are building a great patient experience because of it. So that the customer service standpoint for us is huge. Like, being able to make sure people are set up for success and maximizing everything that's available for them with the PtEverywhere system.
Yeah, it's definitely what we find, and even just when I watch you guys at the events, the way that you talk to your clients and the fun that you have, you guys always take part in or take over the party. Are you doing that again this year at PPM Live? What you got in store for everybody this year?
We're bringing back the very popular orange cups.
Okay? Because I like them with my margarita in Orlando. That's
right.
Why.
And when you pick it up, you're like, this is just a party cup, and then when you grab it, man, this is way better than I expected. There we go.
In my office. I love them. There you go. Look at that. I've got them in my fridge at home, and I've got them in my office here in Orlando. Yeah.
There will be some beer pong played at the Friday night party, so we're looking forward to that.
So you've obviously got that in your ethos, then the customer sort of relationship and your culture, if you like. That's appealing to a certain crowd. I can see that from afar.
Great. Yeah, that's intentional for sure. I think that's we're trying to do the same thing that we're encouraging our providers to do with their patients, right? And make that impact where we're able to build lifelong customers and serve you for the life of your practice.
What about the party that we might be able to put together in November? Can we let everybody into a little sneak peek on that?
Yeah. So the private practice sector of the APTA is having obviously their annual conference in Orlando, right down the road from Paul Gough headquarters.
15 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're kind of talking through the details right now. We're going to announce some things here pretty soon. But essentially what we're looking at is, there at the Rosen Shingle Creek, where the APTA PPS event will be on. We're looking at, what is it? Thursday night, party bus, pick you up, take you down. You're going to get, free transportation, food, drinks, free coaching, right? So we're going to have question and answer time where you can talk to the folks at PtEverywhere, the folks with Paul and Paul's team as well. Paul will be there on the mic, so ask questions about what you can do to grow your business, and we're happy to support all the APTA folks that'll be in town in November.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful idea, and hats off to you guys for the suggestion. We will absolutely look after everybody. We've got room for 30 in the office. I've got the cinema style chairs, so it's a big conference area, but I also have a bar. So I'm very big on the experience with my clients as well, and realize that it's tough being a business owner, and often when you go to conferences or you come to events, it is about letting your hair down, and it is about having fun, guilt-free, and it's not always something serious. And I think that idea of the Thursday night, we will arrange a bus. We will definitely look for a party bus so they can have fun on the way. And we'll do a couple of trips if we need to, and we will get people to the office around about 5:30, 6 o'clock-ish on the Thursday. We'll have a fridge stocked up with as much alcoholic beverage as people would want, and obviously non-alcoholic, just in case. We will have the seats, we'll have the microphone, and we'll do a business and booze and no bullshit evening. I think that's what it should be. We'll turn the lights down, we'll get the drinks out, if you like, and we'll just talk, and I'll sit there for 4 hours, and anybody wants to ask any questions, or we want to collaborate and people want to share what's happening and what they're dealing with and some challenges inside of their business and what's working for them, we can turn it into a mini mastermind for your clients, and maybe even get the ping. I've got a huge boardroom table. You can get the ping pong out as well, Jonathan, as well. So I think it's brilliant, and I think they'll love it, and we'll get some people there as well, or my staff, or certainly some members of my team will hang around and answer questions and just help. And yeah, we'll just share what's going on. I think it could be a very valuable evening for people. We'll be there through the day ourselves. On the Thursday, we'll hang around, say hello to people, and then we'll get maximum of 25, 30 people will come across to the office. And I think it'll be a great night for everybody. We'll certainly make it one to remember.
Love it. I love it. Yeah. I mean, that'll be a good time.
What's the best way for people to get in touch with you then? How can they find out more about? We've got a very valuable service and a wonderful company ready to help. What can people do to get in touch with you and take the next steps?
Yeah, you can find out really everything you need to know there on PtEverywhere.com. We will also set you up with a demonstration so you can see the platform, see how everything works, get your questions answered, understand all the pricing plan options we have by booking a demo there. You can email me directly too. I'm Jonathan at PtEverywhere.com. Would be a direct email access for me.
All right, amazing. Thank you. We appreciate you. We'll get this podcast out on all of the platforms and you can listen back to it. Jonathan and his team have been around us for 18 months now, multiple events and multiple interactions with my community. And what I love about them, they keep coming back to our events and they're always in front of the clients. They're always talking, they're building those relationships that have a lot of fun. They're certainly kindred spirits. I couldn't recommend them highly enough. So head over to PtEverywhere.com. You would not be the first in my community to do so. Many cash PTs are shifting across there because of not just the technology, the customer service is fantastic. So thank you for that. We appreciate it. It's always nice to have somebody that can help our clients with that type of service, which is rare. It's very, very difficult to find. I get that. It's a big, it certainly does a lot to the nervous system. Let's say any conversation about the practice management software or the EMR, and you guys have done a terrific job in our community. So thank you for that. We appreciate you. And in hand on heart, the partnership with PT Everywhere lets us put on big events. We have an incredible speaker coming to PPM this year. I can't say who it is, but this person will bring the house down, and the partnership with PT Everywhere allows us to do that. So if you are coming to PPM and you do enjoy the event and the extras that we can put on, which takes it up and over beyond a typical conference, it's because of the partnership with PT Everywhere. So we thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, glad to be a part of it. And I think one of the things that I want to leave you with here is, there's a lot of people that have systems in place right now, and it's kind of like you're driving your car, the check engine light comes on, right? Something's going to fall apart at some point. Yeah. You don't know what's going to fall apart first. Are you going to lose a staff member because they're frustrated with your systems? Are you going to lose a patient because they're frustrated with your systems? Is everything going to fall apart? It needs to be addressed, and we're happy to make the transition easy for you to move over to PT Everywhere. Or if you're a brand new practice, you want your one-stop shop, we'll get you set up there as well.
Amazing. All right, thank you. I look forward to seeing you at PPM. Be sure to bring one or two of your clients as well. If you are talking to anybody and anybody listening to this, please head over to ppmlive25.com. That's where the fun is, and you could possibly even start your relationship with PT Everywhere at PPM Live face to face. I always think that's a great place to start any relationship. So I love doing events and I love getting people to events. There's nothing better in this world than a handshake or a hug or just a coffee or an eye contact conversation with somebody. It's a great way to start a relationship in a world where everything is online these days, and the convenience of online it doesn't replace the good old-fashioned just get together and have a good, honest face-to-face conversation where you can learn a hell of a lot more about people. So might be the best place for some of your or some of the listeners to start as PPM, but we'll see that and looking forward to it.
Yep, looking forward to it, Paul. I tell you, people love you and they love the community, right? So that's a big part of it. Is seeing people that are going through the same challenges and are getting where people have been where you are right now. Yeah. And you can follow that path. So a lot of learning, a lot of fun.
Good. This year's theme, make sure you've got your costume, please. Insurance Busters, obviously Ghostbusters. And the Friday night party is an 80s themed ghost and goblins themed. Think thriller this year. That's kind of how the party is going to go on the Friday night. So if you've got any any ideas for that, you're welcome to take the stage and have some fun with that as well. So yeah, be ready for it.
Choreography. Work on my choreography.
I'm excited to see it. I'm working on mine. You've seen my opening ceremonies. This year's is no different. So we've got a lot lined up for this year's opening ceremony. A little bit of political incorrectness and some other things going on, as we like to do. So yeah, we'll see you.
All right.
We'll see you at the event. All right, thank you, Jonathan. Amazing. We'll see you soon. See you in a few weeks.
Thanks for having me, Paul.
Thank you. Pleasure. See you soon. Bye.